Hello guys, how are you?
Well, thank you.
So, let's talk about your story here. I want to talk about the products. I want to talk about the name.
Okay.
How'd you come up with the name?
So, 66 Blackbirds is actually a combination of both of our businesses. This is a cooperative retail space, and we wanted the name to sort of reflect what we are. So we took the 66 from B66. We took the black from YakBlak, and then the birds from Chirp, which is the line by B66. So we brought it all together and we called the store 66 Blackbirds.
Okay. So you guys have like, I see fashion. There's photography, of course. So let's talk about the products here. Like the whole concept of why you guys decide to do fashion along with photography. I'm sure they work together well. Okay?
Well, yeah, just like you said, they go hand in hand. It's really about being a complete artist, being a creative. And so photography was something that I've always loved. It's something I grew up with. And fashion was also a part of my life growing up. My grandmother was very stylish. My mother was stylish. So I kind of adopted all of these things to create who I am as a person. And so then when we decided to do the retail space, I had been doing this for 8 years, 9 years at that point. And when we decided to do the retail space, we complement each other with the vintage frames and my clothing. We complement each other, so we thought it would be good to do the space together.
Oh, okay. So take me along some of the fashion here.
Okay. Well, a lot of it is hand-sewn applique work. I have a sense of humor, I'd like to think, so I use different phrases. But I also do cuts, and I'm really about details. So I use a lot of like coconut wood buttons and leather straps and that kind of thing. And I take old cars, my cars from my childhood.
Hot Wheels.
Yeah. Well, not all of them are Hot Wheels, but yeah. And created these lapel pins. You know, just something like really kitschy and fun. And so when you're wearing a boring suit, you can kind of jazz it up.
Oh, you are really creative. I like that.
And then I just created a photo book, which was created with my clothing, styling, the models that I've shot. And what I wanted to do, I created this book, one, to create awareness of a lot of men of color, minority models, because there aren't a lot of avenues for them to get their shine. So I wanted to create something that they could use in promoting themselves and their work, but also allow people to see the beauty in men of color that we don't get a lot of time. You know, we don't get an opportunity to see a lot of. And but also to showcase my photography and my clothing, and you know,
all about you, eh?
Yes.
So what pieces do you have for the fall? Show me some pieces you've been working on.
The majority of the pieces are for the fall, although they're interchangeable. They can go in, especially in New York, they can go into spring, early summer, and then late summer, early fall, and some winter. So they're all interchangeable, but like this is a reversible jacket. So if you wore it, cut? No. If you wore it on this side, it would probably be good for spring, like early spring.
I see.
And then you could change it to this side for fall. Then hoodies are in style all year round. You know, and so what changes is the color palette. Like I use darker colors towards fall and winter, but I always like to add a splash of color. And obviously we have the bird theme in a lot of the product.
So why the bird theme?
Chirp came about because I didn't speak until I was 4. And then when I did speak, I was shy, I was introverted, and there was a lot of chaos growing up. And so I would retreat to my bedroom, and out my window there was a big oak tree, and birds used to congregate in the tree, and they're chirping, making all this noise and stuff like that. But they brought me a sense of peace. So when I decided to design, I wanted to design clothing that said things that I couldn't say.
I see. So you're using a lot of patterns, so like the piece you have on.
Yeah.
Very Scottish, I should say. What you call that?
No, it's more like a gingham country city, you know, like a northern sensibility, but a country style. But the pattern is definitely gingham.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been corrected. So, Mr. Yaka. So how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Okay, so you got into. Tell me how you got into what you do now.
Okay. So about, I would say 10 years ago, I was living in Washington Heights, and I was wearing vintage sunglasses. I was an avid collector of vintage sunglasses. And I was in school for architecture. And one day I just come from a crit, and I was just having a really tough day. And I strolled across this table where this Cuban merchant was selling these beautiful glasses, but they were all beat up. But me being a collector of vintage eyewear, I automatically was able to identify the potential in them. So I ran over to him and I just engaged him. I started speaking to him about potentially buying the glasses and maybe buying more than what he had on the table. He pretty much told me to, you know, if I really wanted them to come back with money. So I went back within a day or so with a whole bunch of money, and I bought all the glasses. But then I had this dilemma because I had all these glasses that were damaged. So the goal then became, okay, let me find the ones that weren't damaged so I can make some money, right? And then as I was selling the ones that weren't damaged, I was teaching myself how to restore the ones that were damaged. And that sort of pretty much brings us to this point where we're now fully restoring glasses. You know, we're realigning them, we replace the lenses, we replace damaged hardware if necessary, we polish them. And the goal is really to make sure that people are able to get an old product, right? And but it feels, it functions, and functions like something that's brand new.
I see. So I see you decided to go with the vintage look. Why is that?
The vintage look so far as the frames?
Yes.
Well, I think we curate this very, 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 I think, we put a lot of energy and attention into the curation of the glasses. And the goal isn't necessarily to get the vintage look, but the goal is to sort of show the timelessness of the styles, right? Because a lot of what you're seeing on my shelves, or what you're seeing on, say, the shelves of a lot of the big name designers, the Tom Fords, the Balenciagas, the Chanels, you're seeing these same shapes, you're seeing the same tints and stuff like that. So for us, that's what was really important. It was to really just show the timelessness and just really present them in a way that I think reinforces their beauty and quality.
Okay. All right. Show me your line here. What would you recommend for fall?
For fall?
What you got going on here?
For fall winter, right now everything we have on our shelf primarily reflects our beliefs in fall winter. We sort of really love dark frames. You know, I feel like in the winter when we start to I guess lose our summer glow, I think it's always nicer to wear like darker, richer colors that sort of bring more warmth to the face. So a lot of the gradients, like on our sunglasses, you'll notice that we have darker gradients. So right now we'll sort of focus and we push more customers to sort of purchase darker or lenses that sort of will bring more color, more warmth to their face. If they have a darker complexion, we may sort of, you know, encourage them to say buy a lighter frame but still with a darker lens, so that, you know, they're still getting a lot of that warmth and that, you know, those nice colors to sort of go with the mood, the vibe of the winter.
I see. Okay, so I want to say, hey, thank you for being on the show.
No problem.
He's outside,
yeah.
So we're gonna catch him
at
another time.
All
okay,
right.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.